Okay, welcome back to Phoenix Point. This will be the second time I recorded this episode because the sound died the first time, so you can bet that I am checking it this time around. And in order to keep my sanity, I'm going to do things a little bit differently than I did the original recording. They are now lost to time. So what are we going to do today? Well, we finished the last episode with two teams out. A team on a Helios, B team over here sitting on a Manticore, and then we had a Thunderbird going around as our trading bird. What we're going to do is we're going to finish up Team 2, or at least get a few more troops in T2 by going to pick up the one available New Jericho unit that's over here. Because other than that, the other option is to get a recruit who doesn't have any equipment on her, which is an option too. We might want to pick up both of them if we can get the food. That'll give us a full Manticore and a full Helios, which would be pretty nice, actually. So we'll have what? Assault, Sniper, Heavy. And what's the recruit? Assault with Cautious, so Accuracy, PDW. Okay, so it's like a support medic character using PDWs. Cool, okay, I think we're going to go pick up that Heavy. Even though Heavies are monstrously expensive, I think that's a good investment while our aircraft remain in motion. And then we're going to hit this Pandoran nest with Team B, while Team A searches, works its way over, and then picks up some story missions. The reason you hit Pandoran's lairs early on is they are one of the few ways you get positive relationship with all faction at once. Most other things you do are gain with someone, lose with someone else, but destroying Pandoran locations, as well as unlocking bits in the tech tree and generally being a good opportunity to level up your troops, unambiguously good in terms of getting people on side. And what we need to do at this stage of the game is start moving these bars up towards 25%, and then doing their missions, getting to 50%, 75, and 100. The most important early ones are 25 and 50. 75 in terms of relationship is less important, but 25 gives you all of their havens, which saves you a lot of time exploring and lets you reach more of the map because you can bounce to their locations for range calculations on your aircraft. And 50% is free access to all their tech, which I'll talk about when it's relevant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pick up that soldier. I'm going to go hit here. If anything interesting comes up, I will come back. Otherwise, as normal, I'm going to cut out as much of the uninteresting stuff as possible. Cheers. And just before we moved in, we've got a few more Pandoran types announced. So we've got the Shield Bearer, which is the more heavily armored version of the Arthron. It's the shield plus pincer, which doesn't really worry me that much. Maybe in a tunnel, but for the most part, you really worry about Arthrons that have the weapon arms, not the ones that have the pincer arms. This guy here, Arthron Gunner. Am I really worried about this? Like, not really. It's still super squishy. Like, super squishy. But now it's got a 6 burst, 35 damage, 1 shred gun. So that's a pretty hard-hitting gun. If you're shooting against something light armored, against something like a heavy, it's going to bounce off still. But it has return fire. So they're getting there, but it's not the super scary Arthrons that we will get later in the game. We're about to have our units arrive here, so we'll be able to drop 5 troops on target. Let's get to it. One of the reasons I was happy to pick up this heavy, who I'm happy to rename, by the way, as always, is because we had spare Deceptor LMGs ready to go. So for a tunnel fight, that's okay. The problem will always be getting the machine gun far enough forward that it can do the damage it's capable of doing. But for the moment, this is perfectly passable. The other thing is that Biochemist works really well with machine guns. So while this will eventually be obsoleted as we move over to grenade launchers and things for our heavy, there's nothing wrong with this as a starting combination, except for the fact that it's horrifically, horribly, unbearably slow, and that we will need to fix that problem. I think everyone else is ready to go. Bradford, Queenie, Sniper's ready to go. Might need to edit. Still got a magazine there, San. Yep. Do you need a pistol? You do need a pistol, but I don't have any ammunition for your pistol, so you can have an extra grenade instead. Really want neuralizers soon. Oh, and we have leg armor. Fantastic. Let's go. Yeah, I know all about Pandoran nests. Okay. So, Nest missions, for those of you who aren't familiar. If you've played the game, you almost certainly are familiar with it. There will be some hatching sentinels, which are static tower-like structures in a network of dark interior caves. Enemies will constantly spawn from the corners of the map. However, once you kill those 2 hatching sentinels, the mission is over. You do not need to evac. So, even if you are completely surrounded, if you can dash to and murder those hatching sentinels, that's it. The nest is dead. It triggers a breakdown, freaks out the local Pandorans or something, and they presumably cease to become a problem. That differentiates it from both of the higher level Pandoran structures, where you have to defeat the objective, whether that be a nest structure at a level 2, or a queen at a citadel, and then evac your entire team, which can be more difficult and problematic. These are by far the easiest form of mission. Anyway, I'm going to scout it out, see what we can find. Let's see how fast we can breeze through this mission, and then we can talk early game diplomatic strategy once we're done. Okay, so I've actually discovered a really close spawn here and a sentinel, which means I'm both surprised and this is good. It keeps me on my toes. And there's a spawn point down here. So here's the problem. Hatching sentinel here. The good thing is it doesn't seem to have many eggs. For those of you who don't know, a hatching sentinel, if it detects you, goes into this preparing mode. The next turn, well, when the turn ends, it'll hatch all the eggs, and usually there's a big cluster of eggs around it that just isn't here, presumably because we're early game and lucky. It'll hatch all those things on its turn, and they'll come after you in the Pandoran turn. Also seen an Arthron. There may be an enemy spawn down here, and there's probably an enemy spawn back there. So we need to cover all of those directions as best as we can, but I think everything starts with killing this guy.
Got you.
Okay, that's not quite enough to kill him. Jacques, I'm just trying to select you. This is a time where I really wish that Jacques had a pistol, because if Jacques had a pistol, they could quick aim, single shot kill this, and we wouldn't have to waste Bradford's shot. But we do. Now, the good thing is, any hostile that comes from this direction is going to only see Gav, who is at full health and very highly armoured. The question is, do we put the sniper shot in reserve down that direction, or do we put the sniper shot in this direction? I am going to go this direction. And I'm going to go like that.
I'll keep both eyes open.
And Bradford, you stay back because you are damaged. And until you can heal, you do not want to be the one Pandorans discover first. There goes the hatch cycle. Okay, so one did spawn. Cleared the arm. It's still probably going to be able to spit, but it could have maybe used its arm, but it didn't have the action points. Well, sorry, it didn't have the arm, and then it didn't have the action points to spit, so it does nothing. And we get 2 in 1. Okay, so we also get one spawn behind us. It's going to get one... Oh no, it's going to Overwatch. I'm surprised it didn't take assault rifle shots there. So there we go. Everything that I thought could go wrong did in fact go wrong, and yet we are still okay. Now, let's work out a limited supply of shots here. I don't want to trigger that Overwatch up there, so we're going to shoot this guy. Let's just check. Is there... Okay, so there's no return fire. And this doesn't have a... And there's no chameleon body, so we can safely just fire into this guy and nothing's going to happen. Fantastic. If I don't hit the wrong button. Cool. I love laser... Against early game targets, I love laser rifles so much. But only against early game targets. Now, Bradford... Considering how we're running out of sniper ammo and don't have enough rifles, I think it's assault rifle games at the moment. Cool. Gav, you're not very accurate, but you are literally targeting a giant purple glowing mushroom. Thank you. Would have been really disturbed if he had missed that. And now the snipers are going to have to place forward because they're going to have to lead the way. What we're going to do for this map is we're going to hook through, going to clear in this direction, find the other hatching sentinels somewhere around here. I will keep clearing. If I do anything dumb, I will certainly start recording again. Okay, I've spotted the second sentinel. No other enemy contacts, so I'm going to get Bradford way away from that spawn point. And now it's just getting enough guns on target to actually kill that sentinel. There's no spawn points up here, so that I can get the snipers up and overwatching, because there will be some enemy forces around there. Heavy can take cover and do the machine gun work next turn if needed.
My turn.
Get the other sniper up as well, and Queenie can cover
Let's make this happen.
anything that's approaching from this direction. Laser rifle won't kill it, but it'll give it something to think about. Let's see if anything spawns. Okay, we've got a melee Triton. That was a lazy overwatch. I should have set it on this angle here. Lazy. But there you are. There's an art to overwatching. But this is a good chance to illustrate what we're talking about here. If I killed this hatching sentinel, and there's usually only two, this mission would be over, even though this Triton was right here. So I can attempt to kill it for the XP, but I'm not going to kill it with one round of shooting. So there's actually no reason for me to waste the ammunition. I should just do this.
No escaping the Phoenix.
It'll go into preparation mode, and one round from one of the snipers. I really need to turn
I
this
can
off.
make a difference. I'm repositioning. Hostile eliminated permanently.
So there you are, nice and clean, no damage. We only killed a couple aliens, and we moved reasonably quickly, cleared the hatching sentinels, mission done. And what you'll see in a moment is that we get diplomacy points for it. Should trigger our first available diplomacy mission, which is going to be one of B Team's first goals.
Good to be working with you. If we're going to save the world, we'll need all the help we can get. At this stage, we've granted you low-level... At the moment,
So
we're
what you're
setting up a
looking at
mission
there
to build
is
old satellite-
New Jericho saying that we've hit 24% relations. And because we've hit 24% relations, you now need to do a mission called Phase 1 over here, which is recapturing a satellite base in order to unlock the ability to go past 24%, which is a priority. Because otherwise, anything you do that's increasing your diplomacy with New Jericho in the interim is just wasted, because it won't go up anyway. So let's transfer... Let's do that to get the troops on the Manticore, send the Thunderbird back home. And I think this team is in good enough shape, as long as we pop a med kit on Bradford Jr., they can go straight over and do Phase 1, while this group is exploring and working their way back. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Back in a bit. Okay, so we've done Project Glory. Project Glory is one of the researchers for Legacy of the Ancients, aka opportunity to get the best equipment in the game by far. So this is now also a priority. And given our flight paths, it's actually going to be more efficient for us to do Saving Helena and then go over and do Recapture a Satellite Base. So we also need to pick another research topic. There's a lot of things. This is a good chance to talk about this. Someone in the comments asked, why do you not reverse engineer the equipment? So we've captured some Synedrion weapons. Reverse engineering is if you capture a piece of equipment, in exchange for destroying that piece of equipment and doing some research, you get the ability to manufacture it and its ammunition. So I would destroy a Demos, and after 2 days and 15 hours, I'd get the ability to build Demos rifles. The reason I don't do this is because, one, you're going to get access to the tech at 50 diplomacy anyway. Secondly, it takes away a perfectly usable rifle in the near term. And thirdly, reverse engineering the equipment is probably not going to... It costs me research time, and my real goal is to get to the really juicy weapons anyway. And reverse engineering these sort of basic weapons, while these weapons are good and they're an improvement over the Phoenix Point gear early game, there's no need to spend research time reverse engineering these things. I don't believe anything about that meta has changed in the move to the Year 1 edition or in the recent patches. If you're wondering why my achievements are all new, by the way, it's because we're playing the Year 1 edition instead of the original. So, I'm not going to do that. The shotgun technology is good. Getting mercies for your assaults is good as soon as tougher enemies start arriving. Things like Pandoran evolution, Pandoran colonies, these are all moving the tech tree forward, which is kind of handy. Synedrions are these are just some really quick researches. 150 tech is a good bonus early on, which we could trade away for some food and maybe get another soldier. So that might be valuable. What's our manufacturing queue? We've got an assault rifle in the queue. So not an assault rifle, sniper rifle. And we may even make another sniper rifle after that. Tough. All right, give me a second. I'm going to sketch out my next few researchers and then come back. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Pandoran colonies. This is a greed play. Pandoran colonies is on the path, I believe, to the Neuralizer. The Neuralizer allows you to capture aliens. Capturing aliens lets you turn ordinary missions into economic profitability by creating mutagens, which lets you basically replace armor with mutations instead of expending actual resources. And it allows you to do the infamous Pandoran sushi approach, where you capture a bunch of Pandorans and then turn them into food, which you can use to purchase recruits or trade away for other resources. So, Pandoran colonies it is. The only one I was arguing about were shotgun technology or Synedrion, both of which have value. Synedrion would be a nice little economic boost, but I'd rather just go straight for the payoffs here, and there's a reasonable amount of bonuses there. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to divert the Manticore to do the Saving Helena mission. We should promote our troops first, though. So what have we got? We haven't got return fire yet, but dash is a obvious one. Shotgun proficiency, once we get a shotgun. Or actually, do we have one that we could swap in? No. Well. So, but eventually, once we get shotguns, close quarter specialist, we'll probably get our shotguns by recovering them in missions or raiding Anu. Not sure we'll get many manufactured unless we go shotgun tech early, but I'm not going to reevaluate that decision straight away. Reckless isn't worth the points right now, so instead what we want... we can't quite get 2 extra points of speed, so I think I'm instead going to go... probably to willpower 9. Add a medkit. That's all she wrote. Sniper, extreme focus, always. Bombardier is not necessary at the moment because we don't have the kit to support it. We don't have any mounted weapons, and we need to get the heavy or the relevant cybernetic in order to do it. So it's that coupled with saving to get to... we want to go to 16 speed, and then it's all about willpower. 20 speed is a bit too expensive for snipers. But sitting right here is not particularly satisfying at the moment. So there we are. That's our level ups. Exploration site, search materials and food. Not much, but it's something. Firebird SR is done. Manufacturing. I think we need one more sniper rifle. So that'll be good for the moment, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, we're here to secure Helena, the doctor with knowledge of the antediluvian civilization, aka the way to get all the fancy guns. So, New Jericho opponents, unfortunate, don't like fighting New Jericho, and we're doing it relatively short-handed with our 5-person squad, but we're going to make do with what we've got. So, it's going to be a cautious advance and scout, snipers doing as much of the work as possible. We've got 1 magazine on that sniper, and then after this mission it's going to have to be going over to the Firebird, which is fine. I've just used the last ammunition here. And then Jacques, obviously, efficient killing machine. Assault rifle, machine gun won't be as good. Bradford, we're going to heal up. We're going to use a medkit to pop a heal on him just to keep him survivable against New Jericho snipers. and we're going to take this as carefully as possible. I'll be back when we've got some contacts. Okay, we've got our contacts, and it's pretty terrible for us in terms of enemy composition, in that it's a lot of high damage, highly accurate snipers in elevated positions. The heavy I don't worry about. The heavy is going to have to jump or move in order to do anything useful, because you can see on their back they don't have, and we can check the information screen, yeah, they do not have the rocket launcher mounted, which would allow them to fire from the top, so they're going to have to close the distance. So in this situation, it comes down to how many enemy snipers can we kill effectively in one turn.
I was born ready.
This is going to be a kill with that there. If we want... No, we won't get a bash, so we're going to... The heavy will kill that one there. That's fine. This sniper here has shots there. So we've got a lot of low chance shots against the new Jericho sniper up top. The assault soldier can probably put some gunfire down on that sniper, but it's also probably worth just letting them move, forcing it to move in order to engage us in the first place. We also got some assault rifle rounds, but that's a real Hail Mary up there. Okay, I'm going to plot my shots out, and then let's start firing. Okay, so I said the first one is the heavy, which we will do.
Scratch one.
Okay, so that's one target eliminated. Who dies next? I think the obvious answer to that question is this sniper here with the low percentage sniper rounds. Ah, great, okay. Thank you, destructible cover. That gives me a chance. That gives me a real chance, because Jacques can take 2 shots, and they are now high percentage shots. And I reckon if we move the assault slightly,
Let's make this happen. Requiring targets.
Queenie can get reasonable shots as well.
Let me see.
Yeah, let's do that, I think. I almost reconsidered, then like, no, I'm going to do it. Okay, so Queenie, you're up. Not much. Not much at all. Jacques, don't let me down, my friend. You only have one more shot to do this, Jacques. That's it. Excellent. I'm pretty sure that's a kill. Yep, that's a kill. So that sniper has been eliminated, that sniper has been eliminated. So we're down to 1 sniper, 1 heavy. Now the point is, can we deny that sniper a sight line against anything that can kill us? Which means getting out of the way, while also getting closer without exposing ourselves to reinforcements. So that is what we will do. Bradford, cover that spawn point.
That moves,
ever since spawns started to come on alerted and already capable of firing, they've been much more dangerous.
Right there.
Operative on the move.
Born ready.
Thank you.
Ready to fight.
That's a useless Overwatch AI. That is a poor evaluation of your Overwatch. Because there is no way I'm closing with you there. That's good. Okay, so he missed his shot because it was a long range. And another factor that you can probably tell from the terrain shape, that wouldn't have been a great angle. There would have been intervening terrain which forced you to aim high. I suspect that was a relatively extreme angle. Let's find out.
Identifying target.
It's okay. It's not great. Remember, from their perspective, they're firing from that shoulder, so they would have had maybe a 40% chance of making that shot. Either way, we're in a better position. I'm going to think this one out, but I think we should be able to eliminate that sniper, and then I'm in a much better position to advance and keep clearing. Okay, so Sunway's taken the shot, which means I think... Does he? Yeah, I think Jacques has to take this shot. Can I move for a slightly better one?
Moving to coordinates. Identifying target.
Yes. Done.
Hostile down. I'm going.
horribly exposed, but like I said, that heavy may as well be carrying a melee weapon, given how accurate machine guns are at distance. We don't need to pick up items, because items are automatically picked up at end of mission. We'll move up, get ready to start breaching and clearing, but we're going to leave the door in place this turn. Queenie could be firing on the heavy at long distance through cover, but are you really going to spend your limited laser assault rifle ammo doing that at this point in the game? The answer is no.
Rolling.
That heavy's just going to keep
Forward
overwatching
ready.
uselessly, isn't he? Apparently so. Now, this is actually awkward in a way, because we have to get up there and eliminate them at some point, but doing so with any mechanism
I
other
was
than just
born
poking it
ready.
with snipers
Ready
is
for
going to be
action.
really difficult and awkward. So let's see
Repositioning.
how that might work out. Possible. We might be able to start chipping away.
On the mark.
Like I said, heavies
I'm
aren't...
here.
Like, sniper rifles may not be listed
Taking
as, like,
aim.
anti-heavy weapons, but in the early game, just doing a lot of damage per bullet is your best mechanism, so there you go. They make that look easy. And that just proves my point about heavy equipment, like heavy armor, being great, but against the right threat, not getting hit is always going to be better. Is that our target? That's our target. Great, so we need to secure her. Let's get inside, see if there are any enemies. Contact here. I'm worried if I put in an Overwatch, though, that there is a
My
chance,
turn.
a non-zero chance, that I end up shooting the target. Shooting the civilian that I'm trying to save.
Ready to roll.
Which would be pretty bad, actually. So we're going to have to structure it kind of like that, so that we only fire if they come into that arc. Same with Queenie, sort of firing only if they present themselves in that arc there. And only Bradford, who probably can't do enough lethal damage. In fact, no, Bradford's going to go round the long way.
I can make a difference. There!
There we are. Panicked. I'm happy with that. Let's move
Let's
into
make
the
this happen.
under Phoenix control circle. Let's move right into close combat. So we're going to go for the arm disabled here, I think. How much do we do with the bash? Not much.
Let me see.
No!
This'll slow me down, but it won't stop me.
Okay, so that is now target bleeding. That is at 65 hit points. It will either medkit or use pistols on its turn.
Let's
Either
make
way, I'm
this
not
happen.
horrendously worried. As long as we can get the civilian out of this area. Evac zone's over that side. Okay. That said, we're still going to play it safe. We're going to bring the heavy in as a nice, juicy, attractive target. Because I would love them to fire their pistol at my heavy. I think they'll be smart enough to shoot at the assault instead, but one can dream. Other than that, snipers just need to catch up at this point. Bradford, maybe... Bradford might actually be able to get a shot here. I should have thought about that before I plugged the gap.
Never give up.
Yeah, let's see
Trying
what
to
Bradford
aim.
can do here. Not much. So Bradford's going to instead have to take...
Receiving.
Yeah, I got no movement points at all. Very narrow cone. Oh, it's probably not even worth it.
Heading out.
Just get out of the way. Mess that one up a little bit, but that's okay. That's what you get for doing it live. Oh, panicked. Recover. Great. That'll do. Decent experience and level up for that one. Plus, we complete yet another mission on our way to Earth's.
Decades were needed to get to this point. The old Phoenix Project didn't want to see. New Jericho didn't want to accept. I really hope the third time's a charm. We have always been so busy focusing on recent phenomena. We ran in circles, researching the mists, the Pandora virus.
When this game shifted, it had relatively few cutscenes. They've been adding more with patches and expansions, and I'm really here for it. It does.
The first to deal with this.
The world felt very
Randolph's
sterile when they
grandfather
first
found
released
evidence
this, but
of
now
science,
there's a growing
artifacts
richness
predating
to
known
the Phoenix
history.
Point sort of
With
scenario,
the ice
and
caps
I really
melted,
do
we
appreciate
stand
the
a
effort
better
they put
chance
into
of finding
expand
them
it
than
there.
he ever did.
Fantastic. So we cut a couple of hours off our research there. Getting research points is very seldom actually that much of a benefit. Although we really should be considering a research lab soon. I'm not at the point where training facilities pay off, but I'm at the point where... And I also don't think that our home base is going to be our primary training base. So I'm considering building a research lab, noting that we're going to have enough to do containment soon. But I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to fly the Manticore back home. I'm going to rest just a little bit. I'm going to check if anyone has food supplies. I think the answer is going to be no. Because if they did, we would be able to go to another soldier, which would be handy. But no. All good. Let's rest up these soldiers just a little bit, and then they've got to go over to phase 1.
Research complete.
Oh, sorry. We got 900 research points. I thought it was 90. Fantastic. There you go. We've just jumped Pandoran colonies, which will also give us what we need in order to get troops. Fantastic. So now we'll go Pandoran capture and containment, because I want to go that route as quickly as possible. Let's have a quick look at what we've got in reserve. So let's take a soldier, edit, turn on everything. What have we got spare? We've got a helmet spare. We've got nothing else. So if we get a blank recruit at this point, which is fine, they will be going into battle with... if they're an assault... Yeah, they'll be going into battle with a new Jericho assault rifle. And maybe a hat. Welcome to Phoenix Point, Heidi. I am mega, ultra, uber cheap. And as a result, you are going on the Manticore. And we are issuing you with a gun and a magazine, a spare magazine, a med kit, and guess what? That's it. Do I want to give you a hat? Do I want to give you a golem helmet? Probably not. You know what? I'll give you a sniper hat because it'll make you slightly more accurate and protect your head slightly. But really, we cannot let Heidi get shot at. She is going to provide a little bit of fire, and mostly she's going to get experience points because we do not want to get her shot while she has no equipment. This also means a new set of body armor and a new set of leg armor is obviously next on our manufacturing list. In fact, I'm almost tempted to cancel the Firebird, because we picked up a new Jericho sniper rifle on that last mission. We've got a Cyclops and 7 Cyclops magazines and a Firebird. Refund? Mostly refund at this point because I barely started. And do I want Banshee? Do I want mobility? Or do I want accuracy? This would be easier if I had Synedrion ready. In the old days, it used to be a clear winner. The 4% accuracy was absolutely the way to go. Now it's more of a trade-off. It's do you want to trade off a little bit? Do you want to gain some accuracy in exchange for losing 1 point of mobility? And 1 point of mobility is not nothing. 1 point of mobility is not nothing. I think the difference here I'm going to go with is I'm going to want to equip more snipers, so it's a good temporary fit, and also it is very, very slightly cheaper. So let's get some Banshee body armor. Let's level up to quick aim, and let's go to 16 speed. And you can go to 8 willpower while you're at it. So that's good. 16 speed is a good multiple. This weapon is outdated. You are now on the new Jericho gun, and someone else is going to get that, and we now have a spare handgun. So you are... Jacques does not have a handgun. So Jacques probably gets a handgun first. And if we steal any more handguns, or we get ammunition for our laser pistols, then someone else can get one. But for the moment, that's that. Let's let them just rest up just a little bit. Cool. I'll be back when I find something interesting. This one's going to keep exploring. The other one's going to go hit another story mission. For the record, I'm really tempted by this second Helios over here because it would allow us to replace the Manticore, but we have way too many air assets already relative to the number of troops we have, and I'd really like to get Synedrion up to 25%. So I'm going to prioritize story missions, exploration, and haven defense, find a couple of Pandoran structures to eliminate as well. I'm not going to take the Helios straight away, but soon getting a second one of these is fantastic. Anyway, putting that off, this team is approaching the exploration side. Fantastic. Okay, let's move in. Any changes? I don't think so. Everyone's equipped, everyone's leveled up. Let's go. I think one more mission tonight. If you're getting a sense of the strategy in terms of mission selection, not only do I come off like a hamster on trying to get things up, and I will be going for a third team as soon as I can. The research lab was an indulgence. I really should have been going for a third team, but I kind of want to push this angle with Alien Capture as well, and I'm confident I can find the resources to stand up another team pretty soon. Also, I have no available recruits, and no havens are offering me recruits, so I had the spare resources. The other thing is push the diplomacy and story missions as fast as you will. This is not a game where, oh, you want to do the side missions and whatever. No. Pump that primary storyline because it'll give you lots of rewards, and Legacy of the Ancients will give you lots of rewards. Work those main quests, and in particular work the diplomacy quests, because otherwise you are wasting your time increasing the opinions of the factions. Anyway, this is a sweep and clear of a satellite location. I'm going to follow my usual MO. Anything interesting happens, you'll be here for it. Okay, so Heavy jumped high, identified the opponents. They're mostly clustered in that corner. We were taking cover over here, which is good, because we've got a... what have we got? Poison Spitter, so we do need to eliminate that one relatively quickly. These ones here, no practical threat to the Heavy up high. He'll just continue to provide intelligence for the moment. He cannot attack anyone with his machine gun, so it is what it is. Other note, Heidi is here. Heidi has no equipment, so Heidi will be hiding and doing her absolute level best to make sure that absolutely no one is in a position to mess with her. This is easy. Welcome to Earth. And then I see no reason to rush in here. This is a secure area mission, so we do have to sweep and clear, but a nice wide Overwatch cone. Queenie's a little isolated, so we'll start working back towards the rest of the team again, I think. I don't want Queenie to trigger an alien by herself over there. Heidi probably just hugging the corners and watching for the spawn points.
Area covered.
I was born ready.
Bradford Jr. can actually afford to be the one that's moving up.
I'll be right
And
there.
Gav, just break sightlines. Life is good. Cool, and then Gav can re-establish sightlines.
Proceeding. Reporting enemy contact.
Looks like they haven't triggered, so they haven't spotted us. And that's probably going to remain the case unless we get pretty close. So there's 3 in that corner. Fascinating. But we are kind of protected by their non-alerted status at the moment.
Ready for action.
So I kind of want to get both snipers out here and then rapid aim with them both on the same turn and just eliminate as many of those guys as I can. Because distance is a type of armor.
Ready, willing, and able. Rolling out. Nothing's getting past me.
This will alert them if they have,
I'll be right there.
if they move, and if they don't move, we should be fine. Bradford doesn't want to establish a sight line because that will probably alert them at that range. Cool. No alerts. So, now we can afford to alert them. How many Arthrons do we have sight
All I need
lines
is a
on?
clear shot.
2 of them. How good are the shots? That shot is okay. Let's see if we
Ready
can
to
see
roll.
more of them again. Oh, one of them has
Proceeding.
moved. One of them has almost certainly moved. So Jacques' the one that's going to have to move to take an effective shot. There's the 3rd spot.
Hostile spotted.
And that's a machine gun Pandoran. So that's the ranged threat. So that one dies especially quickly and with extreme prejudice. Now, it's not going to be that accurate at that distance. But I would still like to put some shots down from here
Confirming target.
to kill a couple of these guys as soon as possible. So we're going to get 2, we're going to get 2, maybe 3 shots.
Threat
That's a kill.
eliminated.
So that's the machine gun one down. They are all now alerted. Let's see how much additional damage we can cause.
Target missed.
All
None
set.
with that.
Moving to coordinate.
Into cover. Because you don't have a second shot. Now, here we've just got poison heads. Probably not at this distance.
Hope I don't miss.
So I'm kind of... There we are.
Hostile
So I'm
neutralized.
kind of hoping for an additional kill there. There we are. That's 2. Let's bring the assaults out wide. And go on Overwatch. Because they're going to want to approach us.
On my way.
Gav, you are the most heavily armed recon soldier in the history of man, and that is okay by me. Bradford, you can do a sneak, peek, tickle. It's not a very effective tickle. I need to stop tickling with assault rifles. It doesn't do much most of the time. Thank you.
Destroyed.
I'm annoyed that they just tripped the edge of the cone there and triggered that. That was a bad shot, but this should be very easy to clean up. Triton Strangler, melee Triton. Okay, 3 targets, long distance. What are we going to be able to eliminate in order, and what do we have to eliminate? Well, this one has to get close in order to be a problem. This one can spit. This one can't spit. So really, if I'm thinking about this, this one has to die first. So if I move out here, No, I don't want to evacuate. I want to kill them.
It's hard to shoot like this.
That eliminates the range option that I was facing. Let's have a look at the perspective of this shot first. That's perfectly functional for a sniper. Quick aim is the shit. The leg is the vulnerable one here. Well,
Need to try again.
I said that's completely practical, and it was a greater than 50% chance, but 50% chances do fail half of the time.
I'm repositioning. On Overwatch. Let them come.
Now, if the heavy was able to elevate the gun over the lip, then this would be much more likely to succeed. In reality, probably not going to get a shot. Really wish that heavy had a sniper rifle or an assault rifle, or a grenade launcher, or anything else, really. Any sort of shouldered arm.
Nothing's getting past me.
That said, I still think we've got a pretty good Overwatch trap coming on here. And if they go the long way, then we're fine. They won't reach us. So by going the long way, that's great. They don't get shot, but they're also not going to get anywhere near us. Oh, you are so... So are you with the assault rifle, though. And yet you're still not going to be able to reach us and do any actual damage. You put your shield up, and bleed to death next turn.
I
What
was
the point of
born
that?
ready.
Now, this Strangler's plan is to come up here, and try to deal with me. I have two options. I can stand at the bottom of the ladder and shoot him as he comes up here, or I can just bugger off entirely. And I see no reason not to bugger off entirely and force him to come to me. Bye. Come play with the rest of us out
Standing
here.
by. I'm on the move. Providing Overwatch.
Just in case.
Ready.
Anyway, leave me to set this up. Okay, so the Strangler had to move into the open, which means it's about to have a very, very bad day. I talk shit about machine guns all the time. They're short range, they're inaccurate, they're heavy, they're hard to get into position, but sometimes you just need something that can do this.
One more to the list.
Good job for a person whose main role was to stand up high and give us scouting information. Not bad. Anyway. That's Diplomacy Mission 1 for New Jericho completed, which means we should now hit 25% relations with New Jericho. Benefit of seeing all of their havens on the map pop up.
Speaking of
Look at that.
details, we'll now have to
400
actually
materials,
make
100
all of this
food,
work
60
with
tech,
our hardware
you get
and
plus
software.
5 relations, you get
We
to
have
see
limited
all of their
resources.
havens
We need our brightest and
everywhere in the world, which means you're now no longer going to waste a unit exploring a question mark. You've just already explored it, and your aircraft can use it to bounce distances, right? I can now reach all the way down here using New Jericho locations as my refueling points. I don't need to use the satellite scans, which is a huge relief. Massively extends my my reach and my range. So, supportive, 29%. If we can get them to 50%, they'll give us their technology, which is a huge boon. So, there we are. I don't think we took any damage tonight. We took down a Pandoran nest, which gave us plus diplomacy with everyone. We cleared a story mission, which advanced the tech tree by several days, which was good. We started a research lab. We cleared a diplomacy mission. And we're now up to a full team of 6 in one and a team of 5 in the other. About to start getting team 3 set up. I can see there's a sniper available for recruitment. There'll be other New Jericho recruits that we can go around and fish up now that we've got access. So we can probably pick up one additional. We can also now have places to go trade for food. So this is fantastic. I'll need to stop between sessions and have a look at this, but we were able to now use, because we know where all their havens are, we can send the Thunderbird out to buy food from them in order to enable us, because that's the limiter. And then we can buy a couple of New Jericho sniper recruits, which means maybe I should have finished that previous sniper rifle, because I think I've only got one spare at this point. So manufacturing another sniper rifle, it's going to be pick up 1 or 2 snipers, an assault, whatever we can get the guns manufactured for, and we can get a 3rd team into that Thunderbird eventually, which might be a strong argument. Oh, they don't like us. There is a strong argument for taking these troops and stealing this, and this being the personal mount of Team 3, while the Thunderbird continues to be a runabout. It's just by picking on Synedrion so much, you want to get Synedrion up to 25 and 50%, especially 50%, because you really want to get all that juicy Synedrion technology. But at the same time, you kind of want to steal all their stuff. So I'll give that a think in between sessions. Hope it was useful. Hope you enjoyed just watching me play a bit. I enjoy this. Next video, I'm going back to some Dominions videos and guides, and then I'm going to do a Phoenix Point guide. And I'm really keen to hear when Festering Skies is going to come out. When more news about that content comes out, I'm going to cover that, because that's going to be the next big DLC for this game. I'm probably not going to get to the end of this playthrough unless I start cutting a whole bunch before Festering Skies comes out, because when it does, it's going to change the game by introducing the air warfare side of things, as well as a couple of other really cool elements. So go the rumors. So, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.